welcome back. We're again at the Human Comedy. As we said, I did make you a proposal tonight that we'd do auto polish, but I'd done that the night before. So tonight we're at Kyoto. And we are doing the 1 hour endurance race with a perfectly respectable car. So it's confined to sports hard. It's a road car, professionally tuned at 550 pp or less. No nitrous. We don't win any cash for this one, because we've done them all before. This is just a rerun in 1.25, version 1.25. Let's have a quick run through the settings. As you can see, Ferrari 458 Italia. It's the 09 version, and we've been to the auto shop and we've put a rear wing and front splitter on it. Then we've also changed the wheels and the colour, just to give it my own little stamp. But this is a really simple thing to hit the 250 pp. Sports hard tyres, fully customable ECU down to 70%, power restrictor at 81, fully customizable manual gearbox, nothing else, absolutely nothing else. Now I tried to do this with the Porsche Stravaston, the race car for the road, and I couldn't get the PP down low enough. I was like 0.128 out. And I can't afford to redo the body shell because it's 10 million, and I can't afford to redo the engine because it's 4.5 million. But there it is, that's the Ferrari 458. Let's go to the race. And here we are at the race page. So let's have a look at what we're trying to do. So we're trying to win the race. We're trying to win it in 1.25 with another car. Last time we used the Radical, but I used that yesterday, and I don't like to repeat it with the same car. Top right hand corner now, you can see that we are top of our friends list already with 22 laps. I'm kind of guessing when we go to the ranking board, we're gonna see on the top 10 stars some people using absolutely ridiculous cars. No, they're not. So Enzo Ferrari on 24 laps, the Corvette RX-7 Spirit, which I'm told by one person, I think, that's done with a engine swap. That might be not true. The Radical there has got 23 laps out of it, so that's better than I did, a better tune. So we're going to see if we can get somewhere on the 23s. I'm kind of working this out at a 2-minute 45 lap. We're going to do somewhere in the 22, 23s. This car's not particularly heavy, but it's not going to really make light work of its tyres, so we could end up with a single pit stop. Well, we are going to end up with a single pit stop. I think we're going to do 14 laps, so at 23 laps it will be a single pit stop and go, but it's whether we refill all the way up. If we refill for 23, I'd be happy with that, I think, rather than filling back to a full tank. So let's see where we go, let's see what we do. Off to the races, folks. Let's go. Here she is. Let's just quickly... Let's just over-rev it before we go anywhere. Traction control on 1. I normally do that with you folks before we go anywhere, but settings are what they are going to be. Traction control on 1. Default ABS. I nearly lost that first corner. But let's keep an eye on that fuel consumption. I don't want to be hitting the rev limiter too often. See if we nip up the inside of these boys here. There we go. Do a bit of breakage on the apex just to keep the car true. Now, 2 potential cars for me in the future there. 911 and a Mustang. That would be nice, wouldn't it? A UK spec Mustang or a 911. Oh, couldn't wish for less. We'll see what Christmas brings. There's also a nice car there. That's a BRZ, or the Toyota version, sorry. GR86 21 model. That looked nice from the rear. And this, tell you what the smart thing about that Mustang is, it's got green wheel nuts, which look really out of place on a blue car. And I don't know how he's got coloured wheel nuts on there, because I've not noticed an option to be able to change wheel nuts. There, you can see them there. At this point he says I really should be focusing on giving you the driving tips, but let's get around a couple of laps, let's get me head into it and then we'll talk you through it. A Beetle. Mr. Hizal driving a Volkswagen Beetle 66. Oh, there's an NSX in front, that's another option for this race, you know. Can't K-swap it, but it could be a potential for this race. Nice and light car, though I suppose that by default will be given a significantly higher PP, because it is a supercar at least, isn't it? Or is it? Don't know if the old NSX has ever made it to the supercar list. True supercars. Here we go, rounds complete, lap 1. So Kyoto Driving Park is a real place, it's not fictional. What I'd be interested to know, at the end of every one of these straights there seems to be a set of numbers that gives an indication that it's like a runway. And are these relief runways or whatever? That's my question. I'm going to have to go to Wikipedia and find out, aren't I? So looks like 12.4 laps. That would give us 12. We're on lap 2, so that would kind of give us a 26 or a 28 lap capacity, so it's going to be a one stopper. Out lap 255. Let's see if we can get under 245 for race laps. We're up to 4th place, just behind Valverde, in a nice skyline. And that looks like an Alpine in front of him. Is it? Oh, car's gone light. No, it's not. It's not an Alpine. It's a Supra. I won't say BMW because I find that insulting. It's a Toyota Supra. We know it's a Z4, but I think it's horrible to say that about people's cars. It's a Supra in its own right, as far as I'm concerned. But Toyota seems to be doing a lot of late with the GT86 being a Subaru engine. Not necessarily a Subaru chassis, but they've done a bit more with the 86 with that 21 model. I think it's a nice looking car. But as a big Subaru fan, I couldn't bring myself to own a GT86 or whatever you want to call it, the Subaru version. I just don't really like the car. I don't find it very attractive. Two-seater, I guess, isn't it? But GT86 or whatever it is with the Subaru, I don't know. There's another one, 35R. So that would suggest to me that that's a north-facing runway. Not entirely sure that it is though. Trying to keep this thing on the track. We're up to 2nd place. Leader is 5.8 seconds ahead. Keep making mistakes. This is the problem with talking whilst driving, giving myself this extra skill, but it's supposed to save me over an hour in voiceovers. But hey ho, it's entertainment factor. Does anybody know if it rains at this circuit? 246. That's a slow 2nd lap. We need to get this somewhere into the 245s and keep those 245s going. Although we do have the fastest lap of the race to date. That might just give us a penalty for cutting. I feel that needs to be a 4th gear set of sequences as well. Not a bad handling car at all, this, considering we've done no mods to it. It's pretty standard. We've just restricted the power and put a new gearbox in it. There's nothing else done to it except for that lip and the rear wing. It's plants into the corner. Bit of slide there. Probably going a bit too fast when I turned in, but it is a pretty handy car. You'd expect most Ferraris to come out of the factory pretty much race ready, wouldn't you? Although I don't know whether it needs a wide body kit. This one isn't wide bodied because it's a rebodied car. I took the wide kit off it. Only cost me 300k or so to rebody it. I thought rather than reduce the weight of it, I would actually just give it more power back by putting the restrictor up. Oh, I kind of dive bombed in on him there. That was a bit rude. I didn't miss my braking point, I missed my gear change. But we're going to have him by the start of the next lap, one would suggest. Get early on the gas as we went across the apex. Gonna look to brake somewhere on that. Could probably actually brake a little bit later there on that white stripe on the left of the corner. We'll try that next time around. Right, let's see what we can do with Mr. Solis here. 3 laps, we're up to second place. Less than a second behind him. He's pulling us on the straight, but we're gonna make light work of him very shortly. Braking on the 50. Down at third, let the car run in, steering up to fourth just to give it some traction, and then we're going to do these apex. Going to keep it in fourth for now. Going to take him up the inside. Fourth gear's the one. Come through these corners, apex them nicely. Don't worry about putting 2 tyres in the grass. Up to fifth if we go across the white line. And we're slower than the last time round, but that's great, isn't it? Braking on the end of the curbs on the right, down to fourth gear, get the throttle back in and push around the corner, put the left tyre up on the curb and push hard. Full throttle again. Watch out for a little lift as we go over the edge. The front end will get light. There we go. Brake on the first white line. Try not to slide too much into the corner. I think I just need to open that up and stick to the left hand side of the track. Not going to go to third gear here. Come back in, cut the centre apex, run it out wide to the curbs. Onto the grass, beautifully done. Should do the grass, folks. Curb left hand side, cut over there, lift back on the throttle. Just let the car run out. So I'm not sure what's going to run out first, fuel or tyres. I think the fuel will go first. It doesn't like my braking point for that corner. I think I'm going to just brake on the start of the yellow strip on the left hand side. So that's roughly 10 minutes done of the race. We're 4 laps in, so not accounting for a pit stop. If we were to times 4 laps by 6, that's 24. Very basic maths. We know that's not going to be the case though, don't we? So we did get the last. We're going to brake on this last white marker. And we did get the last lap down under the 45s. We've got a 44 almost. Beautifully done. it in 5th that time to see if it's any better. Yeah, 1/10 up. We're using all the grass, that's a bit rude. That wasn't very nice, was it? I didn't like how that felt, that was horrible. There was a cheat here. You used to be able to hook your tyres on the inside of the curb and run as hard and fast as you like, and the car would just go round the curb. It was like wall riding, and I think that's what I just experienced there. You can do that. I don't intend to do that, don't want to do that, but we will sort of use the mud where we can just to try and straighten the corner up. All about eking out those extra seconds. So where are we? First place, 6 seconds ahead of second place. Going to brake earlier than we did last time. Going to brake at the end of the whites before the blue and yellows, and that's actually worked out quite well. That's the braking point we need. Back on the gas, let's get it up the hill. It's a short runway if it is a runway. So we got a lap time down into the 2:43s, and then somehow we bobbed back to the 2:44s, which was because of putting those tyres on that curve, wasn't it? So I think, you know, we can potentially threaten a 43 if I get my act together. Itchy nose, please excuse me. Run that curb so high this time. Ten seconds ahead of second place. Changed up to third there, and I know I shouldn't. So fuel load's getting lighter. We're approaching almost 50%. It's saying 8 laps left. We're on lap 6, so we could get 14 laps out of this tank, which would actually be nice, because then we could short fill, aiming for 24 laps. Black and white. I could probably actually get a bit more speed up round there if I was just hanging out wider a bit. It felt very tight and slow. These laps are flying past. It's seconds later I've realised that we've approached the 35R again, which just brings me back to the conversation about runway numbers. That's just what it throws into my head. Apologise for that, folks. Back across this bad boy. I'm going to look to brake on that last white indicator on the left hand side. There we go. Down to the second, chuck the car in. So front right's looking a bit dodgy of the tyres. Left rear is looking the most undertreated or the less abused tyre. 7.4 left. Halfway, yeah, I think we'll be good on tyres. That right rear looks like it's going to complain a lot though. Feels like I could be apexing that too early. But hey, how we doing? Alright, 17 seconds up on second place. Oh, we've got a good old slide going there. Don't know where that came from. That might have been just changing down a second. That little bit too early. Let's just see how we go. Don't really want to lose too much time at this time of the race. I'd rather keep on. If we run 13 laps, that's fine, but I'll only refill for 12 laps. If we run 13 laps on the first tank, well, the indicator would be 30 minutes, wouldn't it? We've done 20 minutes. And I've only done 7 laps, so that says I'm going to do 21. That means I'm going to do less than the last race, but that is only the challenge that I set myself, to set more. And I must admit, I haven't reviewed the footage of the last race to know what I actually did lap time wise. But if we did 22 laps, it would kind of suggest that it was a 2:50 lap time, wouldn't it? I'm no mathematician. Another lap in the 2:44s. Need to get them consistently down into the 2:43s without killing that back right tyre, which is not looking very healthy, I must admit. Mr. Suswillow's gone to the pits on 49% of fuel. See, that front tyre's just hooked it. That's not good. I don't like doing that. So Mr. Suswillow on mediums went in. So we are considerably faster than the rest of the crew. But we are on hards as well. So hooking that tyre I don't like. That doesn't feel good to me. Doesn't feel like we're treating the game very fairly. Don't touch that grass, you swine. Don't really want the car to slide that much. Back on the gas, drive it out the corner. 23 seconds up. Braking on that point there. You can see them coming down the hill. That's beautiful. Like to see that in a game. So I don't know if any of you know, but I used to design golf courses and help Tiger Woods EA back in the 2000s to 2006 kind of region. I used to design golf courses for the game and used to play test for EA Sports. It's not a relationship I have cut off. I still am testing for EA currently. Not allowed to say what game I am actually play testing, but it is something I do continue to do. And whilst I'm having time off from some games, I'm still knocking along doing the things that I do. So what I was getting to was, one thing I used to do when I designed my courses was for golf, was that I like to be able to depict the other courses, the other holes, whilst you were playing one, because it was something that was missing in the early Tiger Woods. You would just have a flat open scenery and each hole would be designed as an isolated thing with no combined overhead map. So I used to design the 18 holes first and then put them back into the game. Mr. Solis has just gone to the pits. Put them back into the game at the very end. So I'd design the courses backwards, as in I would populate everything at the 18th hole and then work it backwards and copy the same map back. So for every hole you'd have 18 holes in the game. Purely because I have to do it twice if I did it any other way. But I used to enjoy that until they changed how they design the courses. And if anybody's got the new 2K23, I hope you're enjoying it. It's a cracking game. It's no longer EA, it's designed by another group of guys, but it's the same model, it's the same engine, and it's a great game. I do enjoy it equally as much as this. And I do enjoy GT7 much more than Sport. I'm probably one of the few that thinks GT7 is actually working very well. I know a lot of you are frustrated with the content not being as much as in previous games, but it's going to be around for 5 or 6 years, this thing, I would hope. So I would hope more of the game comes along in time. Although if they carry on doing what they're doing, 3 or 4 cars a month, we'll get almost 40 games a year, won't we? 40 cars a year. And then I've seen somebody post that there's going to be a big surprise for Christmas. I'm not saying there is, folks. Somebody's posted that and it's an unconfirmed rumour. But it'd be nice if there was a couple of tracks, maybe a new track that we haven't seen before, and one track that maybe comes back from history. But hey ho, we'll see. We've got Sophie to come. Sophie might be the big surprise. I enjoyed the AI in last night's race. They were very competitive. One guy I couldn't catch in the car I was in. So let's get a review where we are. This is the end of lap 9 going into lap 10. We've got 33% of fuel left, which means we'll get, or we might get round to 13. And we've got 35 minutes left, so we'll get 2 more laps. I don't think we're going to beat 22. I think this one's going to be equal. We'll have to get the Enzo to get somewhere near. How's that rear tyre doing? It's the right front that's actually looking cooked, not the rear. Try and short shift him. I'll check that we've got the brake balance in the right place. That was a 2:45 that last lap. There's me chatting away, but I'm expecting the lap time to drop off a bit with the degradation of the tyres, but we are losing fuel weight, so one would expect that to offset tyre loss, but not a massive amount we can do if we haven't got the grip. But just 3 laps to go on this opening stint. "45 seconds clear of second place." It just feels way quicker than the last race to me. But that was a long time ago. It was probably 3 months ago I did this. And you didn't get a live commentary, you got an edited commentary, and it was done after the race. And oh, those were the days I was up all night doing these bad boys. But here we go then, 40. We're just pulling time out on these guys, 5 or 6 seconds a lap, maybe 4 or 5 rather than 5 or 6, but we're doing it. We're doing what we need to do. Did I ever say to you guys that the engine noise in this is phenomenal? So another lap will get us to halfway stage of the race, and that'll be 12. Put a pit stop in, we might get that 23rd lap, you know. No, we won't, look, because that was 11, that hasn't gone to 12. So that'll be 22. It might be, we might get it. I'm not going to tempt fate. I said this last night, you just got to keep going, you've just got to keep pushing. As you push, you'll find time. You can't give up on the game this early. In all fairness, you've just got to keep it there. It's to be had. Only there's a couple of phrases, you know. Derek Trotter came out one, you know. There was, you know, any which way but loose. Every loser wins. No, whatever. I can't remember the phrases, but they are there. He who dares wins. That's the one. And I dare. I was thinking every loser wins, but I was getting confused with a film by Clint Eastwood with a big gorilla. It's not a gorilla, he's a orangutan. 5 points for anybody who can name that in the comments. What was the name of the orangutan? That's not a test. I know there's a couple of you out there that will actually post comments, and you make me smile with it as well, so it's good stuff. Actually, somebody asked me a question in a comment last night that I didn't really answer on the way back. I just need my brain to remember what the question was, and then I'll let you know and I'll answer for you. And I got asked about my car. I got asked where I was going on holiday and whether my missus knows about it. And she does know. She knows the full impact of where we're going and what we're doing. Didn't get on that apex at all, did I? So here we go, that's lap number 11 done. We've just ticked over the halfway point of the race, so that would suggest that 22 laps is going to be the target, going to be the maximum. But let's see. The lap times are just starting to ebb away. We've got 2 more laps to do on this set of tyres. Some would suggest you pit now, get the new tyres back on. You've got less to refuel. It kind of makes sense. You'll be doing faster laps because you've got fresher tyres. You won't have to refuel just quite so much because you just refueled the amount of laps you need. It does make sense. Kind of expecting to get into the tail enders ever so soon. Everybody's pitting now, look. Halfway point of the race, they're all going in. Fraga continues, Hisao continues, Carrazza continues. It's all Brazilians at the top of the tree there, isn't it? I need a drink, I'm parched. And there's the first back marker. But if he's doing anything, he'll be pitting now. Oh, we've overshot. That front right tyre's just got gripping at all. I think that's me gonna succumb to pits. I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna pit before the back markers come into it, the tail enders. So then folks, lap 12 complete. I think I'm just gonna put 11 laps in to just... He didn't pit, so I'm going to go to the pits now. I'm going to put 11 laps of fuel in. I'm going to change to sports hard, going to keep the same tyres and go from there. Well, let's see. Tyres done pretty pronto. We came in with 1 minute 13 advantage. We're going to go to 11 laps, even though I don't think we're going to need them. Not with 26 minutes remaining. It'll be too much fuel, but we came out 0.1 less. We're right at the end of the pit lane. So fresh tyres. We're on lap 13. 10 laps might have been enough, you know. We were stationary for a couple more seconds longer than we needed. Through those corners in 4th, up to 5th. Mr. Fraga's then pitted. We're still 1 minute 18 ahead of the game. Now it's corrected to 32 seconds. Mr. Frag was on 16%, he's got better fuel economy than me. Now there's an interesting question. I had a message from somebody overnight about just how much the changes in 1.23 made to the game, and that really I'm probably 2 versions late for doing these reruns. Well, I do know I've had some cars really heavily nerfed, and it does change the race significantly. But what I have been told about it is we've had some of our times cancelled. If you go back to look at your circuit completions, etc., and your licenses, you won't have a time set against some of them. Even though you'll have got the trophy of completing them, they'll have taken your time away because it changes the setup of the car, and they've made them an illegal time. So I'm going to have a sort through and have a review of my licenses and missions, and just make sure I've got time set against them all. Just make sure we're 100% complete. And here we are. Exit of the first lap, out of the pits. Car feels a bit more... Oh, there it is, spinning into the corner because I changed down too early and apexed early, and just completely messed that up. So where were we in relation to back markers? Oh, they're a good straight away from us. The guys are 36 seconds behind. Quite a big difference considering we've both pitted now. But this does drive really quite well. Very stable. Can be thrown around quite a bit. Just tightens up this corner just a wee bit. Car doesn't get too light going over that hill, which is great. I've probably gone very quiet there as I'm trying to concentrate, and I apologise, folks. I was listening to the music, the engine music. So this is the first full-timed lap out of the pits. It felt quicker. I tried to give it the beans. 2:43.436. That's a personal best and the fastest lap of the race for everybody. Right front is starting to show a little bit of wear. Trying fifth gear this time, just keep the beans on. There we go. Just going to switch to brake balance. Check. We are at the rear. And there's the back markers. See how we're doing. Had to lift there. I didn't really want to cut up that grass then. I felt it was going to go too far. So much of this is intuition, feeling and understanding. Try and run this out a bit wider and use that curb. There it is. Coming up to that Audi TT. Gonna brake just on the end of that blue and yellow. Try and give Mr. TT some room, but it didn't work. He fought me all the way. That's what's missing from this game, a good DTM Audi TT. One of those yellow ones from back in the day. That would be quick, that would be, wouldn't it? It would be well fast. But I believe we used to have them in other versions of the game. I remember using one. Just give Mr. Beamer some unfriendly space there. Cutting away nicely through the back markers. Almost a 50-second lead now. .46, so 1.2 seconds slower than our previous lap, but hey, come on, let's keep it going. We need to know what we can do. 6 more laps maybe. 6 more laps. 7 feels too far away. Another back marker. Looks like he tried to give us room. We can't go to the outside. Oh, he just wanders into our route. That's just appalling. He tries to come back up the inside. I'm not happy with that at all. That was shocking driving. I should have been able to predict where he was more than that. Disappointed with myself. Braking down to this corner. We'll try and give this some width. Then we'll come back in, try and double apex it. Well, we missed one apex, we got the second one. .53-second lead. That was back into the 43s. A 7.24, just 0.3 off the lap's best. Need to keep them coming. We should be getting faster as the fuel load goes down. Should be being able to challenge these lap times. It's a long lap, I do know that, but we should be getting consistent. 15 minutes to go now, which says 5 more laps, which if we're on 17, that'll take us to the end of 22. It's still on, folks. It's going to be tight, but let's keep pushing. That's the mantra. Keep going. Let's see if we can improve that PB. I can see another back marker in front. go. Let's see if we can set this guy up for a pass and then leave him behind somewhere. Ooh, it's got interesting paint job. Is this some Nürburgring taxi? Gonna go up the inside of him here. He left me room, thankfully. Little Golf. Must be some special variant. I've not seen that one before. Almost back to a minute ahead of the field behind us. That was 0.001 of a second off the fastest lap of the race. In last night's race, I managed to equal the fastest lap 1 lap later. He just got in the way, didn't he? Silly boy. I might get a penalty for that. Cutting the lap. No, we lost a second behind that guy. That's not fun. Definitely feel I'm having to get the car down into the lower gear to make it go around the corners. Another back marker. This is going to be a continuous thing, I feel, although the further we get through the field, the faster they're going to be. Well, he's making good ground up there, isn't he, Mr. Mendoza? We'll just cut him off at this point. Comes to the end of lap 18. 4 more laps. Doesn't feel like it. It might. Oh no, it'd have to be 12 seconds, wouldn't it? Because that's 9 minutes 45. So we're going to get halfway around lap 22. Need a considerably quicker car. Front right tyres feeling painful. We're going to catch this car mid-apex again, aren't we? I'll go around the outside of him there. That's the way. That was the GT86 21. See if we can cut this later and try and straighten out the bend a bit faster. Don't know if that was changed up earlier, which gives me a good feeling. Bit of squealing from the right hand side. got here? Evo. Yeah, Evo. I did refrain from spitting as we went past the Evo. I was quite happy with just passing him and putting him behind us. 117 ahead of the pack behind. Don't think I'll lap everybody this race. I don't think that's going to be a thing. Off the lap's best, so we're in the 43s though, which is good. That's where we need to be. Looks like we've got 2 or 3 cars just ahead of us. Which we'll just need to tackle as we before the end of this lap, I think. Lap number 20. Probably don't have to change down to 3rd quite so early. Let's see where 5th gear comes up. Well, not as early as the last lap, so a wider entry is good. Nearly a second off this lap, off the best. Let's see if we can make some of that up before the end. Well, as I said before, just to contain some of my disappointment, the first challenge is to win it because of the change of car and because of the change of PP. The second challenge is to set yourself a new PB. I picked the car because I liked it. I didn't pick it because it was fast. I thought the setup was really easy to do, just changing a few values, restricting the ECU, restricting the power output, putting a more customizable gearpiece on, gearbox, and then going for it, just giving it what it delivered. It's certainly a worthy car. If you want a stable car, this is the bad boy to have. It does not move, it doesn't. You guys haven't seen it twitch under acceleration at all. It's not going to with its damping power, but it's still 400 brake horsepower as such. So here we go, lap 20. Four minutes 32 left. We're going to get round to lap 21, I'm pretty sure. Definitely get lap 22 in. I think the only way we'll lap the rest of the field is if they pit for fuel, but they shouldn't do if they pitted halfway round for 46%. That was quite wild when I saw that. Okay, let's go up the inside, that's the way. Half a second down. Don't ever need to run that wide on this corner. 5th's early, that's good. Good speed down the hill. made a fraction of a second back up. And there's another back marker. Not really a back marker in the midfield. Let's just call them lapped cars. But he isn't yet. He is to be a lapped car. So that second sector was the best second sector yet. So we put some speed in through there coming down the hill. So we just need to put them together and we'll potentially have a good lap. There we go again, another timing sector. In the purples. Again, I have seen comments from people saying these timing markers are pretty poor and they give false readings. What is this thing in front of us? S2000 soft top. And then we're down a fraction of a second again. Go up the outside of him. .243, 5, 6, 7 almost. So let's do it. Let's put in. We're on lap 22. We've got 1 minute 25 left. We're not going to get to lap 23. So put that out of the way. Let's put a fastest lap in. Let's win the race with the fastest lap in the final lap. Oh, I'll probably get a penalty there. We're only 0.071 off. Dip down here in 4th gear. Hold it out wide. Apply the throttle again. Let's see if we can come in. Clip that apex, run it hard and wide, straighten up as soon as we can. Change into 5th as early as possible. There it is on that corner. Didn't get the blue flashes, but we go light over the crest. We're already 0.2 up. That's great. Apex, that's corner. Try and stop it swinging out wide. We're going to come up here instead of going tight wide like last time. Oh, I'm on the grass fully. Oh dear, that was naughty. The car seemed to pull into that corner. It was a late change up to 3rd. We're still up 2.42. 0.242 cut across that grass. In 4th up to 5th. 4th as we apex into this corner. We've gone wide. We've lost the front end. Get the gas back on. Straighten it up. Get it throttling out the corner. We might have lost all that time now. We have. The front right tyre's giving it up. Front left ain't happy either. See what we've got in these last few splits. 1 minute. Oh, everybody else has finished now on the timer, so we will lap everybody by default. But we're only going to get 22 laps in. I'd like to say that this is faster than the Radical. And we've got 1 lap's worth of fuel too many, but we planned to do that extra lap, so if we were going to get the chance to do it, then was the time. How do we think we're doing on time? Do we think we're going to get across the line in under 10 seconds? No, we've blown it there as well, but no worries folks, that's it, that's gold. That's first place. Everybody in the field lapped, I think that's what it's going to say. But we didn't set a new record. Yes, everybody 1 lap down. And no great shakes and surprises, but chuff with that. 1.25 version is conquerable. And we didn't have the cleanest of starts, but hey ho, there it is. So against the friends list, we still stop at number 22, ranking board wise. Yeah, we're going to have to go a long way. There's your cars to use, folks. They're the big boys at the front. But that's it. Just like to say thank you for watching. And with everything else going on, thanks. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.